Mary's a genius.
Our families are not always those who give birth to us.
You and your uncle watch Ultimate Fighting.
Oh, you don't just watch it.
It's just a beautiful, heartfelt story.
No one can tell you if your family is perfect or not.
Mary! Mary! Mary!
Did you get that?
Action.
I'd been working in big movies for a really long time, and I wanted something that really got back to the roots of what I love about cinema and film, which is characters.
Please don't make me go. You can keep homeschooling me.
Tell you everything I know. No more argument, okay? We've discussed this ad nauseum.
What's ad nauseum?
You don't know? Wow, looks like someone needs school.
Gifted is a film about a beloved niece. The uncle wants her to have a normal life, even though she's a very, very highly intelligent child.
2 nights ago, she told me that even if Germany bails out the euro, there could still be a worldwide depression. I was staring at the ceiling for 3 hours.
And she's left with Frank, who treats her as if she was a grown-up.
Let me see. You look beautiful.
I look like a Disney character. And Mary right now is on calculus.
I think your niece may be gifted.
I am good friends with the headmaster of the Oaks Academy for Gifted Education.
No, I promised my sister I'd give Mary a normal life.
And of course, the grandmother wants to put her on that treadmill of think tanks.
Would my mom have wanted me to go to this school?
I can only guess. But I tell you what, she would have wanted you to have friends.
This is a dream cast. It's what you hope for as a producer, to actually have each role played by the best possible person.
People often think of Chris as Captain America, but there's a sweetness that I think is very genuine.
I think he's a guy who is exceptional himself, but just was not as exceptional as his sister.
I love seeing him in this role because it's so unlike what we've seen him do in the past.
You know, there's something you could be overlooking. This could work out.
Maybe. But if anybody takes that baby away, I'll smother you in your sleep.
I think the reason why Chris is so great for Frank is because he is unavoidably soulful.
Well, he's very focused on set whenever he does the emotional scenes because he's trying to hide the emotion, but he has a lot of emotion. Is there a God?
I don't know.
Just tell me.
I would if I could. But I don't know. Neither does anybody else.
Roberta knows.
No. Roberta has faith. And that's a great thing to have. But faith's about what you think, feel, not what you know.
Welcome to the set of Gifted.
I would not have a movie if I didn't have Mackenna Greiss.
Little Mackenna Greiss, I can't wait for the world to meet her. She is incredible.
She's amazing. She's 9 going on 30.
There's an emotional depth and sophistication that, you know, you just don't see very often in an actor at all.
Hey, look at me. You just embarrassed me. We have these rules. We've gone over them 100 times. Ah, shh. God damn it. Can I just get 5 minutes of my own life?
I don't think she could be played properly unless she was played by a child that had her own sort of superior intelligence.
There's Oscar winners sitting around the table. There's Tony winners sitting around the table. And she's blowing everybody away.
She's gonna break your heart. Those puppy dog eyes, you swim in them, and her emotions are right there, brimming at the edge.
Get a hold of yourself.
We had a huge equation in the movie that she had to memorize, and she memorized it by making it into a song.
Infinity sign, looking at sideways pi, and sideways pi is looking at e parenthesis x squared plus y squared parenthesis 4/2j thingy squared.
When she left that screen test with Chris and I looked at each other and it just was clear. This is the girl.
Mary, you knew the problem was incorrect. Why didn't you say anything?
Frank says I'm not supposed to correct older people. Nobody likes a smartass.
The minute she walked into the room, the chemistry was really palpable.
I love Chris so much. He kind of treats me more of a friend and a roommate like he treats Mary.
They look so great together, and they're so easy together.
You can't show off like that at school.
I know.
You promised you wouldn't on the first day.
I know, I screwed up. Do you think maybe this boat needs a test ride?
Go get Fred.
He said to me, you did amazing, and I said, you did amazing, and he said, no, you did amazing. And then it just kept going on and on until he said, okay, I did amazing.
Action!
You could have a great role, you could have a great script, but if you don't have a good director, you don't have much. So for me, it was Mark Uэбб.
I've always been a fan of his work. 500 Days of Summer was a revelation. I just thought it was such a beautiful movie.
Good, and cut.
I thought he was amazing with the Spider-Man films, but just talking to him as a person and his internal barometer of good and bad is so on point.
He is the perfect director for this job because we need a director who has a big, caring, loving heart, and Mark does have that.
He has this light around him. He's a very collaborative director.
This is one of those sets where you just feel really safe. There's no judgment, there's no insecurity.
Mark lives in those spaces in between, and I think that's what gives this movie its authenticity and its real beating heart.
Directing these kids, you cannot intellectually create an idea for them that they'll translate. They have to feel it. Otherwise, it's not real. But when they feel it, it becomes the most real kind of performance there is.
There's a lady standing in front of our door.
Who is it?
How should I know? 7.
That would be your grandmother.
I was really swept away by the writing.
I'd written almost exclusively comedies.
None of them got made. He kept on slipping through the cracks.
I kept threatening to write a drama, and so I came back 5 weeks later with the script.
It was love at first sight. I just knew I had to make the movie.
What are you doing?
You don't think I have the right to see my granddaughter?
I do. I'm thrilled your 7-year exhaustive search has finally come to a fruitful conclusion. Well, the dialogue's fantastic. The actual individual music of the words is just very juicy for an actor.
The characters are so flawed, very human.
I've never felt more emotionally attached to a film.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
No.
Evelyn ruins everything.
Evelyn is our mother, and she's obviously was very fond of Diane, my sister, who was gifted, a math prodigy. As a result, Diane kind of got the lion's share of love and attention, and I think Frank kind of felt a little bit left out.
And what do you think she'd say if she saw how her child is living now? Do you honestly think she'd be pleased?
That she's living a somewhat normal life? Yes, I do.
She's not normal, and treating her as such is negligence on a grand scale. She believes profoundly in giving a gifted child absolutely everything educationally that they need to fulfill their gift. It's basically, which life should this child have?
He wants to do what's best for Mary. And he's always doubted, I think, in the back of his head, whether or not he's the best person for the job.
I think he just starts to draw parallels between how Evelyn treated Diane to how Evelyn will treat Mary. And I think Frank becomes incredibly protective. So I Googled first graders who yell at the principal, and statistically, you're never gonna believe how many kids do it.
How many?
None.
There's still time for you to undo this nonsense. Go, get in your car and go get that child.
It's like a little odd couple. And I don't think Frank lets many people in, and Roberta just kind of kicks the door down.
She has no boundaries when it comes to raising this child.
Octavia is a really caring, loving person, and she's really amazing whenever she walks onto set.
Don't worry, okay?
Don't tell me that. There's nothing you can say that's gonna make me feel good because I have no say in any of this, Frank. I'm not a blood relative. I'm not a legal guardian. I'm nothing. Just a lady who lives next door, whose opinion means nothing, whose feelings mean nothing.
She's brilliant. Everything she does is great. She couldn't be bad if she tried.
She's an Oscar winner.
She's best friends with Mary, like how I am in real life with Octavia, so we don't really have to act whenever we do scenes together.
Mary and Roberta have this magic together. It is amazing.
Well, I am thrilled that we got to do this little lip sync. Let's just say it's pretty fun and pretty dynamic.
Bonnie becomes the intellectual guardian of Mary to nourish her intellectually, to nourish that gift. And I think that comes into conflict with Frank.
What's your greatest fear?
Wow.
Look, if it's too much, you can just drink your drink and live with the fact that you're afraid.
Well, I can handle this. That I'll ruin Mary's life.
One of the great things about Bonnie in this film is that she's not the token love interest.
When we first meet Bonnie, we meet her as Mary's teacher.
I've never met a human being like Jenny Slate. She really is so phenomenal. It's a joy to do a scene with her because she sucks you into the truth.
Look, I am...
You know what? I'm actually incapable of having this conversation right now.
Good, good, because I have no idea what I was going to say.
Great. Perfect. Sir, if you please. You don't know who Fred is.
He has just one eye. Fred is the best, amazing cat in the most history of time.
Fred is a real cat. We go to an adoption place and there's a one-eyed cat up there. My wife picks him up and he wraps the paws around our necks and starts purring. And my wife said, wrap him up. And that's how we ended up with Fred the cat.
Fred.
Fred's a little damaged, and so's Mary, and so's Frank, and it was kind of cool to put a one-eyed cat in there.
Fred is amazing.
I don't want this one to end.
This has really ruined me for anything else.
Everyone has said that they came onto this movie because they fell in love with it and they just really wanted to be a part of it. And there's this energy that's been created by that.
We're all having such a good time with each other, it bleeds into the work, it bleeds into the performance, and as a result, we really, I think, we're making something really special.
It's a boy. That's exactly how it was when you were born.
This happy?
This happy.
I really hope that when people go to see this movie, they feel equally thrilled and warmed.
I hope they feel the sadness and the happiness and the funniness.
It reaches inside and starts poking little parts of your heart, and you end up leaving a piece of it in the theater. I really think it's a beautiful story.
If Mary is this amazing, smart, sweet human being, then I must be doing something right.
I mean, you laugh, you cry, you laugh.
It's a big and whole movie that I think a lot of people are gonna hopefully will react to.
What it is to be a father, what it is to be a mother, what it is to be a child, and what it is to have a successful life, and that there isn't one definition of that.
I think families, you know, the people that you love, you may have one mom or one dad, or two moms or two dads, or even just live with your uncle like Mary does. But as long as you love them and you love where you are with them, then I think that's family.
You kidding me?
I love Savannah, I really do.
Savannah is such a beautiful place.
Savannah's been great to us. They've been really, really welcoming, and we've found so many beautiful locations.
Do you think maybe this boat needs a test ride?
Everyone knows that Georgia is a very film-friendly town, so a lot of films are coming here.
Savannah's a beautiful little town. It's a coastal town. And we did a little research trip and got a sense of the culture and what kind of people live down there.
I repair boats.
Please.
Pretty good at it, too. The architecture and the live oaks and the Spanish moss, it's gorgeous.
There's a history and an architecture in Savannah that you don't get in a lot of other places.
The historic district is gorgeous, and I like walking around and practicing my lines. They say it's the most haunted city in the United States, and I've been on the lookout for ghosts, and I got so excited. I went on a ghost tour, but then I got really scared and I had to get off.
And action.
Boom! Action!
Say cut.
Cut!
See who's actually really telling what to do. That would be me.
Everywhere that we've shot, because this is a pure location movie, there's no stage work in this film. Everyone has just gone above and beyond.
Shame on you! Got Mike!
When I leave this one, it's going to be very difficult because I've fallen in love with the place and the people and the experience.
Yeah, baby, come here! You have fire! Savannah will always have a special place in my heart from all of these memories that I've made here. One of them didn't like me.
And they're idiots.
I would not have a movie if I didn't have this really incredible cast.
She doesn't know how to be a kid. 2 nights ago, she told me that even if Germany bails out the euro, there could still be a worldwide depression. I was staring at the ceiling for 3 hours.
Chris Evans has such a great range as an actor. I love seeing him in this role because it's so unlike what we've seen him do in the past.
Frank's a guy who is exceptional himself. There's been a lot of complexity in his past that he's had to cope with.
If anybody takes that baby away, I'll smother you in your sleep.
Roberta is the landlord. She's best friends with Mary.
She's a surrogate mother to Mary, but she's also a little bit of the comic relief because she says what the audience is thinking.
I love Octavia. She's brilliant. Everything she does is great. You look beautiful.
I look like a Disney character.
The biggest challenge was finding that kid that can carry a movie. And then we found Mackenna Greiss.
She's amazing. She's 9 going on 30.
Mary is very smart for her age. She's left with Frank, who treats her as if she was a grown-up.
I think the last thing that little girl needs is reinforcement that she's different.
Bonnie's Mary's teacher. It's sort of unavoidable that she realizes Mary's genius right away.
Jenny Slate is brilliant. We know her largely as a comedian, but I think if you've seen her work before, you know she's a really fantastic actress.
What are you doing?
You don't think I have the right to see my granddaughter?
Lindsay Duncan is a quite famous theater actress. I needed someone who would embrace not only the brashness of Evelyn, but her sophistication as well.
She's someone who believes in giving a gifted child everything educationally that they need to fulfill their gift.
Every now and then you get a movie where every single person is just phenomenal. We're all having such a good time with each other. It bleeds into the work, it bleeds into the performance, and as a result, we're making something really special.
I had been looking for a script that was about more intimate personal relationships. I always like a blend of drama and comedy, but I was looking for something simple and character-based.
He's a very collaborative director. I have so much affection for how he approaches the work.
Mary, what's 9 + 8?
I've kind of moved on to differential equations now.
Yeah.
You could have a lot of pieces in place, but if you don't have a good director, you don't have much.
It was clear that the same way I fell in love when I first read it, Mark fell in love, and I knew he was the only person who could direct it.
I had been working on big movies for a really long time, and I wanted something simple and something that got back to the roots of what I love about cinema and film, which is characters.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
No.
The reason this film feels so lovely to me is that Mark doesn't just care about the thrills of it. The emotional stakes are something that he really cares about.
Watching Mark's process, he's unique in how he builds the scene. He's 50 steps ahead of anyone in that room.
Good, and cut.
Just connecting with him as an artist, really. It just felt like we gelled.
It was just a compelling, intimate story that just felt right.